Hello, Bluetooth. It's the one and only Icebound Glaceon. And, yeah, I'm using mods. Okay, I'm not going to use the Engineer's Toolbox anymore. I was testing it to see if it would output similar to the mod pack. I do have to use the, Wings mod. What the fuck is aerodynamics? What is this? I don't even remember this. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, it's simulated drag, but more accurate drag than the one that's built into the game. Con's playing Train Valley. Lol. Alright, so we'll start it with wings and mod pack and mirror. Yes. Load. Hopefully I deleted any blocks that were using the and from my inventory as well that were using the engineer's toolbox. Because if I had anything in my inventory or on a creation, it doesn't like it. So that's a possibility of corrupting the world. Usually it's fine, but I've had a few issues, so yeah, and welcome. I actually have chat open this time, which is good. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to deposit my money before the end of the month, which is like 20 minutes. I'll probably just do it tomorrow. There we go. Perfect. I was testing some things. Okay, so, if you guys know, we have a Piston car. Apparently this thing's doing pretty well. The hearse. Doesn't even look like a hearse, but it's not doing too bad. It's decently fast for what it is. It's a little laggy, but like... It's got, you know, all the space in the back you need, so... Oh, and you can close it from right there too. Right, and then it has doors. And I managed to get the doors to work by doing that. The game does not like it though, so it does lag after a while. But at least the front doesn't look too bad. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So that's first gear, obviously automatic signal lights. And as I said, the game does not like these doors. So if I open the door, yeah, see, you notice how it's bugged? Easy way to fix it, do that. And once it settles down, frame should hopefully be back. Or is it the other door that's broken too? Oh well. So that's second gear, and then we have third gear. Which, since it's lagging, you don't really notice the speed difference, and you can tell it's lagging because you can look at the position of the pistons. They're not where they're supposed to be. And it's this stupid door that causes the lag. So let me just put in gear 1, open door. Yeah, see, the leg's gone. And I don't know why the door is so bad. I'll just not use the door. There we go. Now you can notice the speed. Yeah, it's not too fast. It's about 65 blocks a second, I believe. Yeah, and the doors. Yeah, I have to fix those. The easiest way I could fix it is I can put the piston on the back to reduce the amount of collisions. Because this game does not like collisions. And if people get lag, it's not going to be because of the piston engine, it's literally because of these stupid doors. So, like if you just remove the doors flat out, like just remove that block, remove that block, and put it over here. Like, there's no lag at all. It's literally just those doors, the way I set them up. Okay, now there's lag. Wait, is the back door causing lag too? No. No, there isn't. Oh yeah, there's lag. Interesting. Wonder if it's the back door. I might have to redesign the back door if that's the case. Interesting. So there were 52 bearings, which is a little much. But then we have my race car. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if this will spawn. Oh, that still spawns. I made it slightly lighter. I don't even know if the block showed up, though. Because I replaced metal with pipe pieces. Or not metal, wood with pipe pieces, but I don't even see the wood changed. So it should be faster than the other one. Wait, it does say the pieces were changed, right? 25 wood replaced. But I don't see the 25 wood replaced. Like, do you guys see the 25 wood replaced? Let's just go here. Parts. There's only 3. What? Small pipe 6-way. No, pipes are actually smaller. Or, lighter. I was using mods to see, mods to see what the weights of each thing were. And I thought it was based on, their weight, but apparently things that have a smaller hitbox actually have a smaller weight, which kind of makes sense. Like a screw has less weight than this, and this has less weight than that, right? But like this and this have the same weight because they both say lightweight. It's based on their, yeah. So like it's based on, it says lightweight, right? And then also how much volume it takes up. So like a wedge piece uses less, right? And like this one will use less, and these will all use less. And then these will use less, and you get the idea. Yeah, we're gonna take the this car, and I'm going to turn this into an F1 car. Under description mod, the engineer's toolbox outputs it into console. That's why I had the console open. This one outputs. Brent has confirmed it is kgs. So if we go, these 5 blocks here are a total mass of 18. So we'll just subtract 18 from the total here. Right? So we'll just put it on mass. Right? So it'd be 28. 2841 would be the weight of this vehicle here. 2841 kilograms. And yes, I have my engine so the pistons turn on before they should, which does cause it to activate in reverse sometimes. Which sucks, but it gives it more torque. And more torque means higher top speed. Because I have a set drive shaft length, so, or not drive shaft, crankshaft length. Wait, my radius on my crankshaft is 3, so I'm limited to my top speed on that anyways. So I believe it's 78 blocks per second. So yeah, basically just lower, increase torque while lowering weight, and that's the only way to make a vehicle with that radius faster. So, because the engine will be the same speed, it's just the torque output would be higher. Wait, not output would be higher because it has less things to pull. That makes sense. Torque is the same. So yeah, for an F1 car, I have to actually pull up a picture because the way I build is I look at a picture and I just, you know, build off of there. F1 car. Images. Well, if I just look up F1 2019, because there's standard designs that they're allowed to do. There we go. Standard design. So those wheels are actually, they look smaller because the wheels in scrap, right, are 150 centimeters. These ones here, I believe they're 150 centimeters. Wait, sorry, 125, I'm dumb. It's 125, which means it's... I'm just going to use the thingy. Well, that's obviously going to be 1.25 meters. Tall. And if we go to F1 race car tire size. Because they obviously shrink when they're in use. .25" by 10". Huh. No, that's diameter. Diameter is 25 inches? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because the diameter of this one is 150. Okay, so... ...63 centimeters. So... that means... the Formula 1 tires are less than half this size. But then again, that was as of 1992. Okay. What did it change to? 67 centimeters. So it got slightly bigger. The front one got slightly smaller and the rear one got slightly bigger. 26.4 inches, which is 67 centimeters. Interesting. And then what did they change to after that? I just want current. Oh, okay, so there's still 67 centimeters. Okay. Interesting. So I like how it shows number over number, which would be inner width over greater width, so you can actually tell how thick the tire is. Like it shows, based off my math here, that the tire is like 265 centimeters thick. Oh, sorry, not 265. 26 centimeters thick. And if you look at these, it's about 26, it's a little bit more, it'd be about 27 centimeters. But the actual height of the tire is, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, I don't think I'm doing my math right. That must be a different value then. Okay. But yeah, the wheel is about the same size as, well, it's still smaller. The Formula 1 cars have a smaller tire than this. Because what did it say the width was again? I think it was like 10 inches. And 10 inches is like... is 25 centimeters. Oh, wow. Okay. So this one is just slightly larger in diameter. Or no. Yeah, it's slightly larger in diameter. It's 75 centimeters instead of 67 centimeters. And width-wise, it's identical. So this would be a lot more accurate for a Formula One car if you're going for realism. And yet you see people using like the gigantic tires. Like look at all Fenno Works builds. Don't get me wrong, he's really good at designing, but he I don't know. That the wheels are too large. Like the wheels on this are far too large, but I need the larger wheels to compensate for my large drive shaft. Because like if I half the size of that, right, I'd be essentially doubling the output here, speed-wise, and it'd be more than half the torque, or less than half the torque. But that means I could use smaller tires. So if I use the 3 tall tires, that would still be slower than, you know, using this and this. So I'd have to go about 60% smaller for the diameter of my drive shaft, because as you can see, it's 3 blocks. So if I change that, then I could use the smaller tires and get the same speed, but I don't want the same speed, I want faster. Which means I'd have to go dangerously low, and I would completely ruin all my torque, which would suck. So yeah, the piston engine's not completely realistic. And yes, it spazzes out, and sometimes the bearings aren't actually on the proper spots. Yeah, I wonder if I can place a block there. Ugh, I hate using too many mods. Just clutters. Oh, look at that, I can place it right on the end. And where do you think these go? Put it on the lift, they're nowhere to be seen. But when I take it off, again, nowhere to be seen. Isn't this game weird? But like if we check parts, we go 48, right? And we place that there. Still 48. I love how broken this game is. So a Formula One car, I believe, has its engine in the rear. Right? F1 schematic. I just want to see where everything's placed. Because looks-wise, I cannot make it accurate. But I can at least place things where they're supposed to be. Because it does look like they're using carbon fiber, and it does also look like their engine's in the back. And it does look like their engine is actually perpendicular to the drive shaft, which is cool. And it also looks like it is about this far away, which is interesting. The only problem with this setup right here, is I'm going to have to delete this. And then I'm going to have to, I could just, well no, I want the nose on the front. So I do need the 2 blocks. So yeah, I'd delete the back too. Because I'm going to move the spoiler forward instead of having it further back behind. But no, okay. So I have the right dimensions here. But width-wise, can I get it width-wise? These dimensions? I don't know. Because what I could do is I could just make this thing, you know, smaller. Because like, right now, because I have to keep it in a 12 by So we're at 11. Yeah, we can only go one block wider, which we don't want to do. Well, I could go one block wider. And what about lengthwise? What are we at? Four and 4. We're at the max length. So we can only make this thing one block wider. We can't make it any longer. Which is unfortunate. Wait, screw and pipes have the same mass? Really? Huh. Even though a screw takes up less volume. Because a screw is less than half a block. And you can prove a screw is less than half a block because you can do this. If you place, say, I don't know, this here. I think I showed this in a previous stream. Alright, you place a screw there. And you place, oops, sorry, a bearing. That you should be able to place. Why am I not pressing the right button? Sorry, place this there, and then you should be able to place that there. So it pushes it ever so slightly out of the way, except for this, right, is, it's 0.6 blocks width. Which means from here to here, right, and if you include that to there, right, you have 0.2, 0.2, so you have 0.8 wide. So it's only pushing it out by about 0.1, which means this is about a 0.3 width. I would say about 0.33. Someone can obviously check that if they want to, but that's what I think. But again, you can obviously just look at the models. Switch to? Really? And then what does wood have then? Wait, are you sure? So when I was checking, they had less mass. Okay, so it has less than wood, but it's still 3. And then a logic block should have 4. Yeah, that one has 4. A piston should be 0. A bearing should be 0. A suspension should both be 0. An engine should be around 24. That's a lot more than 24. Jesus Christ. Oh, is that heavyweight, not medium weight? Oh, yeah, that makes sense then. Damn, that's heavy. And then you use a controller and it's just like 8. And you can make and if you blueprint edit a controller, you can make it as fast as a gas engine. Wait, someone was saying a gas engine has a 707 RPM? I am not sure about that. Meters per second. Really wish I could just middle click on blocks to pick them up, like in Minecraft. But this isn't Minecraft. So we need to divide this number by 6 as well. What? I could just use a math block, but I'm too lazy. Yeah, 707. Interesting. Wait, are you sure an electric engine has... $480? Yeah. Something else I want to try. um, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I think I'm gonna have to add another couple numbers. Actually, this one I'm actually going to put into, I'm gonna put into this. And I'm going to add another, number. Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't even need any of this. It already divides it by 6, so I don't have to do anything special. Because laziness. Just make something that you only have to spawn once, instead of having to rewire it again, and then completely forget you have it and end up doing that again anyways. Then just into white block. So, remember, this is average per second. How fast did he make this? Jeez. Brent. Why you do this? Oh my god. Remember, this is already divided by... This is already like... Oh my lord. Alright, so let's go... That. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So it does have an end. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I think this is broken. This has gotta be broken. This is RPM. I don't believe it. What did he set it to? No, degrees per second to RPM is divided by 6. And since I'm doing this 8 ticks, right? For 8 ticks every revolution, I divide it by 42, I believe. No, 8, 6, 48. Sorry, I divide it by 48. And we can quickly double check that I did 48, because I could have also like not done 48. But I believe I did 48. Yeah, I divided by 48. Because I'm doing it 8 ticks per. Oh, you want to get rid of 100? I'm doing this the lazy way. Counter. Let me paint this to that. Press it once. And that was set on the third one, right? Yeah. Then we go here, and then we go here. Go here, we set this to multiply. We go there, and we paint this one to black. So this is divided by 100. Okay. So that was full number. That was RPM. Jeez. So yeah, that's the RPM of this. That's so many revolutions per minute. Oh my lord. No wonder this kills the player, because this shoots the this kills the player essentially. But here's the dumb thing: if I open this controller, oh, he did it angle-wise instead. What if I do that? That doesn't affect it because it's already rotating. Oh, because it has to go backwards in the opposite direction now. Okay, what if I go here and do that? Does that kill it? No. What if I like... That disc was spinning so fast that when it hit my car... Let's just delete this. Remember, blame Brent Batch. Yeah. Remember, that thing had a mass of 3. And that thing launched a thing with a mass of 2,800. That far. A mass of 3 launched that thing that far. That's how fast that thing was spinning. So imagine, if that's how far it knocks that from mass of 3, imagine what it does to the player. Jesus. I'm curious what the engine looks like at this point. Because that had to have killed the engine. Let's see, what's glitched out. No, it's actually not that bad. It's just the one part of the engine's on this other side. As you can see. The V part of the engine isn't a V on this side anymore. That's all. It's actually not that bad. I don't think that's possible. But yeah, the one downside of doing that with a modded block is now if I want to get rid of the mod pack, the world won't like it. So I have a chance to corrupt the world, which is unfortunate. So, yeah. Now that we've wasted a bunch of time, as in half an hour, let me actually build the vehicle. I'm actually going to delete this because that's not any different. Okay, so I need to essentially just lower everything. Right? Because, to be honest, it looks like the bottom of the frame is a little bit lower than that. Just a tiny bit lower than that, based on the pictures. Which means when this tire gets pushed up, it'll be about that low. And same with this side. See, I just need to lower it by one block. Which means the rear end I'm actually going to have to redo entirely, because there isn't really a rear end. So the easiest way to fix that, delete that block, and then delete that block. There we go. The rear end is now not attached, which means I can now not delete that one, but that should be fine. I can temporary weld it by doing a thing. A thingy. Got Pokemon music stuck in my head for no apparent reason. Put it there. Make sure that's welded to that. Then I can delete that. There we go. So I can do the same thing to this side. Then weld that to there. Doesn't really matter. I'm dumb. There we go. Deletes a block, just have to place it back again. Okay, so for this one I only have to delete one block, and that's this. just delete the grill, the entire front end pops off. Which means I can delete that. I do need that peg, but I can always move the engine anyways. Or not the engine, the WSD converter. Don't need that, don't need that. Don't need that, or that. Don't need that, don't need that. Honestly, I could just connect the engine. Okay, apparently just launched me. You put this on the left before I do this. Could place, or sorry, not place, weld it to there. Right? Which means I can delete that and that. And perhaps actually place that there. And same with this side. And then what we can do is we can just make a little, just delete all this. I'll just do that temporarily. Even though we, well, I, just placed all that down just to delete it again. Cool. So, now that we've made it lighter, significantly lighter, let's see if the speed actually changed. Because that I'm actually curious about. So we can place the speed back here. Where's the number blocks? Yeah, now it's not as easy to control. Wow, the top speed actually doesn't really go up at all. Well, that's not good. I was hoping that would make it faster by making it lighter. It's honestly about the same. Like you see a 76 for a split second, but that's just variation. I have another idea I could try. And that's just deleting that, deleting that. So I'm just seeing if I could even get it up to the speed I want it to first. Because these are medium weight, I believe. And the small ones are apparently heavyweight. That's kind of odd. The smaller ones would be... Huh. Okay. That does look like it made it faster. Interesting. But how's the turning? Huh. I'm tempted just to make the wheelbase on the back skinnier and the one on the front wider. Because that did help the speed, sadly. Because you see 77 for a split second there. But obviously this does not look like an F1 car. Not even close. I guess one other thing I could try would be a little cheaty. Would be I'm gonna change one thing for this. See if that impacts speed at all. Does look a lot more bouncy though. So what happens if I put those to like 4? Actually, let's put them to 4. We have most of the weight in the back. Does that even look any different at all? Because to me it looks slightly slower with it on a higher value. So it just looks like it's dipping more. But it also looks like it gained a little bit. Oh no, that was the left turn. That makes sense. Left turn I have more traction than right turn. But see, that's also why I added more weight to the front. To give it that traction. Yeah, it looks like that suspension doesn't really matter in the back. It almost looks like if I had no suspension it would be faster. So now let's try it with that. no suspension in the back. Because if it ain't proper suspension, there might as well be no suspension. According to Allstrack. I don't know. I'm just saying shit. With no suspension. Oh, that's... The turning is... a little better? Yeah, I would say turning's a little better, but the stability is not there. Like, at all. Interesting. And since it's less stable, they're not staying on the ground as much. Now, how many bearings are we at? 35. Looks like I still got plenty of bearings. Oh, we'll be at 37, so I'd have 3 to play with, which means I could put 2 in here. And if you're wondering what that would do by putting 2 in here, I would have to extend it 1 back, which is fine, right? Because then I just move the seat back by 1, which again, perfectly fine. Right, because I just move all this back by 1 and then this part back by 1. Right, and what that would allow me to do would be to put in a U-joint. Ethan says he's got to go. Okay. I don't know why these wheels exist. Why does this wheel exist? It's the exact same as this wheel. There's no difference. Why does it exist? I thought mods are supposed to add things that weren't in, you know, the vanilla game. Yet they add something that's exactly the same. Because it looks better? I don't know. I'd say the only difference is it's default gray. There you go. Now to me they look identical. I also feel like my engine's not going as fast as it could. Actually, there's a good way to check that. I could just check the RPM, but I know the RPM will be 300. So, there's no point. Okay, so now... Oh, suspension's gonna be a pain in the tush. Also, to me it looks like the wheels in the back are 3 wide. Because they are wider than the ones in the front. Which means I could just use 1 in the back and then a 3 wide wheel. Sorry, a 3 wide wheel in the back. A 1 wide wheel in the front. Something I do want to try as well is the 4 wide wheels. Like, what if I did this? Not the 5x2, just this one. And then I lower the suspension. If I just fix the suspension in the back. Oh. 'Cause aside from both of these being too skinny. Oh, well, there's the rolling issue. Interesting. Let's just put this over here. Let's put back on the larger, well, I'll just leave it there. I'm gonna make a box. So this is how much space we have. Let me just lay out all the parts. I'm going to do so by actually placing the wheels on the outside first. I will be using a 3-wide wheel. A couple of them. The wood doesn't need to be there, but for some reason, you know, I don't. Let me just. I don't know. So we need this one to be one block away from the back, actually. Should do. Cool. So then we'll put the drive shaft right here. Cool. Again, we're just making a skeleton, and I'll throw everything in after. So this part I do want to have lower to the ground. So either I'll have suspension that's already pre-compressed, or I'll just lower it in the first place. And the front wheels, I believe I am going to still use the big wheels for the front. Would be right about there. There we go. Let's see, do I want this to be an even width or an odd width? I think I'm actually going to make it an even width. And I have one particular reason for doing that. So, wait, was I muted that entire time? I don't even know. Whatever. So the reason I want to do an even width is because I noticed on this one over here that this makes one side go up and the other side go down. So if I put it in the middle, maybe that wouldn't be an issue. So I'll obviously have it in the other spot, but yeah. Hey, Pingu's here, nice. I'll put it right there. Just so I remember where to place the engine. Because then I'll place it along here. And I'll probably just throw it in right about here. So there should be more than enough space. I think I'm gonna do a weird kind of suspension for both. And by weird, I mean I'm gonna use the suspension I do in the back and put it into the front. So I'm gonna have double straight axle suspension. You're fine audio-wise? Thank you. So for this part, we have the flap on the bottom pretty much coming out right there. So I'm going to make a little pad here. I'm actually just going to connect it like this, so I can delete that. Or apparently it doesn't want to connect. Well, there we go. And since we're doing an even width, we'll do 1, 2, then we'll have the, like this. Alright? Yeah. So I'm assuming this shaft actually goes above that point, so... Wow, you found me quickly. Does it go above? Yeah, it does. So I'm just gonna temporarily attach it with a pipe piece. There we go. So that needs to be, or that's the height it needs to be. Right? That looks so weird with this scale of tires. Also it's not supposed to go in front of the wheel completely. It's only supposed to go in front of half of it. Okay, so I'll just move this in by one, and put the wedge pieces here instead of there. That should be more than good enough. There we go, so that issue is solved. And then around the sides. I wonder why it's like that weird shape. It's like concave from about like pretty much about here to about like here. Actually one further back. Yeah, probably about there. It almost looks like it's concave from right here, so it goes, you know, like essentially like that. Actually, one more over, but yeah. And obviously one more down. Like that. Why not use like a 500 RPM engine? Wait, do you have a 500 torque in, or a 500 RPM engine? That would fit in this? Yeah, because this isn't actually supposed to go to, I think for now I'm just going to use that and that. Just to get the body shape. Then it shows this one going right up against the tires. And then the back has nothing. I know it does. It has like a slope over the back. So we'll have it go to there. Or does it go straight up to the... Oh no, it does. It does. So it slopes up right about here. So we'll go like that. And we'll have this go up to... How far above? Looks like about a block and a half above the tire. So if I go one block and we have this lower by half a block, right? Then that'd be perfect. And it sticks out by that much there. That's it. That looks like a tiny spoiler. Which means at this point, now that we have the dimensions on the outside, I should be able to clear that. Hey Pingu. So if the wheels were lowered by... Oh no, it'd be raised by 1.15, so we'd have to do this. If the wheels were raised by a point, like half a block, right? Lowering the chassis by half a block. Do you think that's good dimension-wise? Just as a rough sketch so far? Obviously I'm going to be using half blocks and everything to fill it out, but... Do you think dimension-wise that's okay? Collide too much. Oh no, there's plenty of room for collisions. I'm just saying, does it look at least half decent? That's all. Because this is kind of something I should probably be asking Carl, but he's probably asleep right now. Because he loves his F1 cars. Let's see, how thick is this part? That's if that's rose by half a block, this needs to go 1 block higher. There we go. Remember the wheels are gonna be up by 0.5 blocks, so half a block. Oh, you're talking about this? Oh, this is your really fast one so far? Damn, you got that compact. But have you tried putting it into a drive shaft and controlling a vehicle with it? Because you probably could. Because you can even, if you wanted to, you can cannibalize this. There's more than enough room for it. Actually, not this one. Actually, no, yeah, you can cannibalize this. Just don't open the controllers. Because if you open the controllers, it resets the values. Even if those are half a block higher, I think the scaling is still a little bit off. What am I forgetting? Okay, on one design I see the bottom part is concave, but the top part isn't. Which kind of looks a little odd to me. Actually, I already got where everything should be placed. Let me just grab the different picture here. That's 2011. Oof. There we go. Oh, wow. Yeah, I was way off. Interesting. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. I meant to click on this. It doesn't like the back differential? Okay, so it probably has like barely any torque then. And then this part here, for what I'm seeing. Oh, you saved it before you, okay. From what I'm seeing here, it goes to about here as, again, a concave shape. But the floor stays there, like that. It's just this part up here changes, which strikes me as a little odd. And then this part's smoothed out a little bit. So it goes a little bit like that. Which means probably that little bit there. Yeah. Steep and then not steep. Even though the steep to not steep would probably look better like that. Yeah. Well, that's debatable actually. I'll do it like that. That looked a little bit more streamlined. There we go. There we go. Now to fit, now to fit the engine and the cabin in this little space. I think this thing would have to be longer. Which is why I'm tempted to, like, make the front shorter and the back shorter by, a block both. Just so this part isn't this skinny. Because this part does need to be longer. But if I make it longer, I wouldn't be able to use it in the race. Right? Because it looks like I need to make it at least... I'd say 2 blocks longer in the middle here. The last race we did. Remember, Allstrike and I haven't raced yet. So I'm remaking, we've taken too long. So instead of using, my current car, I'm going to be using this. Because why not? Yeah. Right? So if we've taken this long, I might as well make a new vehicle, right? Oh, I kind of wish we had a 1.4 size tire. Can we have a roller games completely rebuilding between every race? Okay, so for the airplane one, right? It's a time trials, right? So it's not going to be 1v1, right? Basically, I'll follow everyone around. Each one's going to go separately. Everyone's going to have multiplayer delay, right? Because they're not going to be able to do it on their own, because I want to make sure, right, that they can't, cheat. Future races are all going to be done differently. I'm going to make sure everything's at least different. Because, like, the first race was simple, right? We were just trying to make really cool piston vehicles and make them fast. I was the only one going for aesthetics. The second one is airplanes, so I'm trying to include a little bit of aesthetics, along with, the speed portion. Right? True, I won't have delay, but I could also just make Allstrike host. When he's the cameraman following me around. And also, I don't expect to win. Just like this one, I don't expect to win. And then, say for the hovercraft one. The hovercraft one, I want to be dumb, and I want to put everyone in at the same time. So, yeah, there's only going to be one race. Or I'm going to split between only 3 races. If there's 8 people or less, it's going to be one race. If there's more than 8 people, I'll cut it in half, and then we'll have a second race. And no, there won't be any rebuilding. If your vehicle has a major glitch, and something you completely overlooked, you can make a very minor change. Very minor. But that's it. Actually, no changes at all. No changes at all. I'm sticking to that. Yeah, no changes at all. Yeah, if I can make this longer, that'd be perfect. I could just say, since I'm using one bigger tire here, that I can just push this forward by 1 and, sum this back by 1. Essentially just moving this forward by 2, and then trimming up the front. So. And like the walker one, it's not going to be as simple as who can make the fastest walker. It's going to be going over terrain. As I said, I'm gonna mix things up. I'm gonna make things unique. These may not be, concrete ideas, but yeah. But I do want to push this forward by 2. So yeah, I'll do that. Right, like that. And then I'll cut off this part. I'll go 1 and 2. Weld that onto there, and trim off this. And that should still fit in the same size. Just for scaling, yeah, aside from the front looking weird now, should be a little nicer actually. Actually, I could probably pull this forward one more as well. So I could have pulled it too forward. So I'll just pull this one more again. Again, because I'm just going to assume we had smaller front wheels, right? And just do this. Which to me, aside from the front being snipped and us having too big of wheels on the front, because I'm assuming, like, which wheels? It'd be those wheels, right? You can start to see where I'm going with this. Having slightly smaller wheels and a longer front would fix this, right? Because then that's as close as I'm gonna get. But since we can't use modded wheels, I'm just gonna do that, trim off the front, and do that. I could just trim off the back, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Later on, I might just move this in by 1 and then extend the front by 1. So. But now I should be able to fit the engine and the seat in here. Oh, this is on the lift. Oh no, it was on the lift. What? How is that welded? Oh, it's welded to there. That makes sense. So that means if I place that there, and I delete that block, then I can remove that. Which means I can now delete that again. And I can try to fit the everything in here. Because I need to fit... Remember, the most F1 cars are hybrid, aren't they? Oh god. So I need to fit... I might still have to use the saddle, even though the other one is lower, and I want it to be lower. Right? The driver's seat is lower. You sit in it lower. Than the saddle. So. But the saddle is, I believe, shorter. You see, we have room for 2 saddles. For seats, So just because it's shorter, I'll probably have to use a saddle. Okay, so we have from the axle, so including the axle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Which means the front of the driver's seat's gonna be there. It's a little far forward than I would like. I would like it a little bit further back. But that does mean I can fit that if I wanted to do it that route. Okay, so we have like not even a third of a block between there, right? So let's just put that there. Now if we take the saddle, it's about the same. We sit about the same far forward or back, even though this one sticks out one more forward. So I'm going to do it this way. It's even wide, so that's why, primarily. But yeah, and then we should be able to fit the disc, the engine, the axle. I can make this axle one shorter, I just don't recommend it ever to make it one shorter. So it gets very buggy. Very, very buggy. And by very buggy, I mean you have to rely on these on the gears. And since the piston engine is already moving so fast and it's already pushing us out of place, it just kills your torque. It makes it collide a lot more. Basically, you go from, say, like 400 torque down, or 400 horsepower down to like 300, which would bring down your top speed significantly. So it'd probably bring me down to like 65 blocks a second instead of, up to 72 or 71. So that tiny little change is why I have it like this. Otherwise, I could move it one block further back and I'd be really happy with the design, but I ain't doing that. And we also gotta make sure that the engine can actually fit in here. And the suspension, well, the suspension will be fine. I have plenty of room for suspension. Okay, and then this connects. Is it below the tire? It is below the tire, so it'd be right about there. And then the back, about that high. Which kind of works perfectly, because that's how high our gear mechanism is going to go. Oof. I do feel like I can... Well, no, that's about right. There we go. Oof. Remember, I'm just going off of a picture. And we don't need that bar there. Actually, I could do the suspension, straight axle suspension right here, and have that go to the front, and have the bar. Yeah, I could do that actually. Saves me quite a bit of room actually. So it's not even going to be close to how the suspension looks in the thing, but because the suspension of the thing goes up to here. Which I could do actually. I could make a very funky mechanism for it that would work perfectly fine. Now to just fit everything in here. This is what I'm gonna race with. It looks so derpy. I do feel like I should pull the back in one and extend the front by one. It does look derpy with the short front. Again, the body's gonna be lowered by half a block. So I also feel like I should make it one skinnier. to compensate for it being, you know, how to make it pass through? Like what pass through? Oh, no, that's simple. No, no. Suspension. Will your engine explode when you take it off the lift? Yeah, then you just place a crooked pipe in, you know. You can see where it's supposed to be on my screen. You just place one right there. Oh, yours is actually in line. Okay, easy fix for that. Do that, that, that. Oh my god, can I place blocks, please? There we go. Why did it explode? Because I just need to place a pipe piece. Okay, it's fine. Kind of. Wait, why is it trying to move? It just doesn't go off? Here, I'll just do this. I got it. You can take it off the lift. You can take it off the lift. You can take it off the lift. There we go. There we go. There you go. You're welcome. I said you just have to move it out of the way. Good night, Shadow. You might want to put on your lift though, because I'll still need my lift. Oh, you're just gonna weld it to it? Here, weld it to that part. Also, the axle already has a pass through, by the way. It has to be on the lift when you weld it, by the way. But yeah, that axle already has a pass through. See, it already goes through. So you can literally just weld your vehicle to those points there. Those are where you connect it, is on those points there. So you connect, yeah. You connect this part where you were trying before to your axle. Then the other parts are where you weld it to your vehicle. Yeah. Because that's why I say, like, a lot of times you don't even need this extra arm on a piston engine. That you can delete it once you have your axle in, because a lot of times you'll have the support on the axle. Or at least for my suspension, I do. Because I'm weird. Because I like trains. Yeah, that song stuck in my head. Okay, so one thing I have to do before I forget is I have to delete this, delete that. Never mind. I'll just do this for now. Damn. I won't be able to weld the wheel onto there, which is a slight problem. I'll have to glitch weld it later. Which is actually a pain in the ass, and more of a pain in the ass than you guys think. Especially now that these are 3 wide. That means I have to move everything on the inside, not just the one piece. Which means I have to use Burn Batch's blueprint editor for that. Which is unfortunate. Well, the one side would be fine. The other side I have to glitch weld though. Because this side I'm going to have to glitch weld. This side I won't. Because this side I can directly weld it to it. Because if I just... Yeah. And yes, that's the mechanism that's in my through wide wheel. Right, then I should be able to just weld this to there. And then this side I need to delete this bearing and weld it to there, but I can't. Right, because the rest of the engine's in the way. If I try to weld it to that bearing there, and this piston's in the way, that doesn't work. Go figure. Which means I have to delete... Wait, which one is connected to that one? The far right. Okay. Which means I have to delete that, that, and that. Just to weld that to there. Just so I can place back a piston. Set that to max speed, repaint it gray, connect that to there, and then move that. And then do that. Place that. I guess I didn't have to use Brent Batch's blueprint editor. It's fine. I forgot I could just do it that way. And that is how you glitch weld. See? And now the engine's actually inside that wheel. But this should be the proper width. This should be 12 wide. Yep, 12 wide. Which looks weird, but at least we have this part in the center now. Right? Which is the whole goal of all that. Which means now I get to try to weld it into here. Which means I get to do... I'm actually gonna... Oh my god. Do that. I know I can press escape, but... Force of habit. I placed those in the wrong spot. Doesn't really matter though. Because now I have to chop off the back end, essentially. Just to fit in all that. So. But yeah, I don't know how much room I actually need, so I'm just going to take a lot more than what I need. Actually, seats should be fine there. Hopefully. Because if I take that, okay, and that, and that, and that, okay, and then I have to bore a hole under the seat that's too long, which will be right there. And we'll weld this block And if I made enough room, to that block. But as you can see, I need to delete more. So let's try deleting that, that's, and that's. I'm also okay with doing that and that's. As I said before, we have it saved, so I'm not too worried. Oh, I still need to delete more. Well, that goes inside still. Okay, then let's try connecting it via up here. Oh, Pingu left? Did he crash again? How about now? Hey, there we go. That's not the right height. Yeah, your Wi-Fi pooped. This isn't the right height, which is a slight problem actually. Because, well, the seat is in the way, which sucks. It sucks actually pretty badly. Because, well, not only do I have to raise inch by one, that bearing there has to be in the seat. And if you guys didn't already know, yeah, the game doesn't like that. So, yeah. The only way I know of to fix that is to do that and then weld it from inside the seat. As much as I don't want to do that, I think that's my only option. It's like, sure, I can move this back by a block. But like the front's already one too long, right? So I don't want to compromise that much. So but it looks I'm going to have to. Sadly. Isn't that all it's welded to? What? What else is it still welded to? To the seat? Oh. Oh. Whoops. To there. Which I don't think I can directly weld that to there. Because I need to delete a few blocks. Because I'm pretty sure that block there. Actually, whoops. That block there. Yep. Oh, come on. which means I can potentially glitch weld the seat in there and everything should be fine. I just have to put the seat in that block. Which means also temporarily I will connect that and that. Which means I have to use a controller. Temporary welds, doesn't really matter. Controller to lock that and that. Oh, and I also have to lock I don't know why I always get that one backwards. There we go. Oh. Much better. No more jittering. So let me just nonchalantly pop the seat one block too far back, apparently. One too far forward. There we go. If I put on a lift, that resets all the invisible blocks, and now you can see it's inside. So now we have the back axle on, kind of. We still need to add the suspension, which is perfectly fine because it's still welded to the engine. So doing that is as simple as I should probably test this eventually to see if it's like even drivable, but to do that takes a lot more than what I've already done, so not yet. Because this is going to collide with that if I put suspension here, but we have a torque issue if I don't, so I'm going to have to. That's right, this one's in a different position. Keep forgetting about that. Okay, now to spawn in this one. And temporarily put the wheels in the right spot. There we go. And I have to fill in the stuff I deleted. Which I'm going to do by just doing... Bruh. I don't know. God damn it. Keep getting stuck. But you can see all this stuff we deleted. That's not favorable. That's not good. And that part's the engine, so I can't go any further that way. I can do that right about here, though. And have that go to there. And this one has even more space. And this part essentially just goes to, well, we're going to stop it right here. Just so this has at least a little bit of room to move on that side. Yeah, this side's a lot more cramped. Alright, almost wanted to have it cramped on both sides, which would have been dumb. There we go. Yeah, having that engine offset looks so weird. God damn, can I not get stuck on stupid shit? Why? Game, can you stop? Just trying to walk around. Just seeing if we forgot anything crucial. Or if it's literally, you know, not much different. Other than that being there. So we'll do to there. Those are temporary, so that's fine. We move the back axle back by 1, also fine. Yeah. Looks so derpy. Oh gosh. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. Well, like, I could fill in that block there. Cool. Oof. Wait, what is colliding? It's a suspension. How about now? It's even worse. And that's because the wheels are colliding? Yeah. Okay. So let me just... Well, I could do a glitch weld here to lower it, but I'll just do this for now. Actually, I think I'm just gonna do this. Can I not fucking get stuck? Jesus Christ, game. Like that pocket there makes a dwarf get stuck apparently. Good to know. Not really. Sorry, those are temporary anyways, so we don't even need to bother with those. I only need... Can I not fucking get stuck? Jesus Christ, game. It's getting a little excessive. I was gonna say, if I got stuck there again... Bruh. Why did I crash? Come on. Which means it's not going to spawn on the lift. I crashed. Yeah. Can I not get fucking stuck? Jesus Christ, game. Fuck off. You do anything different? Oh, it says you left and joined. Can I not get stuck? Game. Jesus. Fuck you. And then delete your creation? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay. And then this one, really, I'm gonna have to delete those. That sucks. That I can't just, go through that. Can I not get stuck? Game. I got... Okay, that time wasn't fully stuck. That's fine. Whatever. So this axle's weird. The way it looks like what it does is it looks like, again, this is going to sound weird, because, well, it is weird. Well, first of all, I'm going to add those in, because for some reason it's not there. It goes from right there. Now it looks like it's got a little bit of a crevice in there, which is like this. Seems I'm actually gonna apparently delete both. Oh, fuck it, I'll get rid of both. Yeah, it looks like it's like that. And like the top one, well, I don't have a way to, well, I do have a way. It's just, ugh, I'll get there eventually. So that should allow it to, yep. I'll just do it that way. That's fine. That should have... Oh my god. Can I not get fucking stuck? Jeez Louise. I want to test if this can actually... Oh, it can. It can flex. See? That's good. It's got room. In single player? Okay. That's fine. So I have two options here. Go for the really flat suspension. Liked, lol. So do I even go for the straight axle suspension on the front? I was thinking of doing it, but now I'm thinking against it. That just seems like a lot of effort for not a lot of reward. Yeah, I don't think I could go straight axle. Wait, what else am I missing? 30? One, two, three, 4, 7. 37. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This doesn't even look like an F1 car. Not even close. Right? Not even close to looking like an F1 car. Also, I'm gonna have to move the wheels back by one on the front. Sadly. So I'm gonna have the axle right about there. Because it's supposed to be that long on the front, and this part's supposed to come down to there. Right? It's supposed to be like that. But, yeah. I don't have enough space. So I have to do like that. I don't know. I'm just making minor saves as I go, just in case I break it. think I'm just gonna do this the lazy man's way. Take a tire. Take the suspension glitch, weld to the tire. Actually, I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm gonna do... Oh, I have an idea. I could do this. So if I weld... Because there's a bearing in there right now, which means I can actually weld these two pieces together. Actually, I don't want a bearing in there. I'm just gonna have to... No, I'll just redo the suspension glitch. That's fine. I don't need this. Alright, so... If I go like this, I place this here, right, and then I use a controller to nonchalantly... Actually, you know what I haven't done in a while? I haven't used a piston for this in a while. Let me show you how it's done with a piston. Wait, can I do it the... I have to extend it from here, wouldn't I? From here, then like that. You just take a switch, you go like this. You go like that. There we go. And it'd be nice if this thing actually stayed and, you know, not moved away like a fucking D-bag. There we go. So now we can do... So this is how you do it without using any bearings. I wanted the thing in a specific direction, so that's why I had to do it that way. But otherwise, it's identical. Then I just place that there, weld that to there, then delete all this. And that's how you do it using a piston. Or, yeah. Same trick, just different method. It's literally the same. Because then you don't need to use a controller or a bearing. And doing it that way, you can also put bearings on both sides of it. So that's the slightly more advanced way. Quote unquote. It's not really more advanced. But it's really simple. Like, it'd be nice if my creation wasn't moving on its own magically. You know what? Fuck you, creation. You are a useless pile of shit. Get welded. You can't move now. Yeah, I has get salty. There we go. Because now I can go... That's... Then I go like this. And then I place bearing, wheel. So I go like that's, and that's. So not even accurate to F1, you know, race stuffs, but it's hella compact suspension. Kind of. Because obviously you could just, you know, move it in, but I wanted them, you know, at that height, so. And then I could just wire this into that, and that. And now I should have left and right steering. Which just enough room. Oops. Why are you painting the bearings black? Like gray. Also, how are you painting the bearings that easy? But no, I use Brent Batch's blueprint editor to paint everything at once. Because I could just select bearing, or any unpainted bearing, and click paint. There you go, done. It takes like 5 seconds. It's really easy to do. So that's why I do it that way. Because why would I spend time like this, painting everything, as I go, when I could just click a single button in the blueprint editor? Because I have to use the blueprint editor anyways to modify the controllers. So, I just do it all after. I'm kind of worried that this won't actually work properly, though. There's an easy way to tell, but like all I have to do is have yeah, just put a single switch. Have that go into there, have this go into there, then have this set to 140, I believe. This might be backwards. We'll see. That is forward. And it actually works. Huh. It drives. That's a good sign. Huh. Then we can stop. Yeah. I don't have it blueprinted in it right now, and I don't have the WS converter in here, but yeah. The steering, still really bad. Not surprising. But now it's the exact dimensions we can use for the race. I can't go any bigger, because I'm 24 by 12. I wish I had a little bit more length, and I also wish this thing could steer. It seems the steering is actually worse than the other car. It's okay. I'll test both cars. This one will be for looks. Yeah, it's not very fast. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta check with the speedometer block. How much slower it is. And I'll also check the weight as well. But I'll do that after. Yeah, that is slower. Not by much, but it is slower. Because it's staying in like the 60, 65. Yeah. But remember the back tires are a lot heavier. One thing I could do. Just gonna double check all the pistons. Lower those two and increase those two. Oh. Oh my god. I can make it slightly lighter, but not much lighter. Yeah, the turning is so bad. That actually helped. Not really, never mind. Yeah, left turning is not too bad. Turning to the right, though? Yeah, no. Doesn't want to turn. I just figured, you know, putting that axle in the middle would help. But no, it doesn't help. Offsetting it by 1 doesn't help at all. Sadly. Actually, wait, I wonder which one weighs more then. Actually, I'm gonna change the angle. Let's see if that helps. It's slower. Okay, then let's try. Doesn't really change much. Okay, so... because it should be about that, is what it should be. But now the engine's stopped properly. There we go. It just wheelies on the start. Lol. The instant torque is nice. But the front isn't heavy enough. And the top speed is hurting. I don't think this will get a better lap time. It looks a lot nicer. Like already looks a lot nicer than my current vehicle. But the whole point of it is to be faster. So like better tuned, lighter primarily is the big one. But like if I go piston car, this is my current car. And like, yeah, it's faster. And turning left is sharper. And turning right, it's a little bit sharper, but not by much. But I could do this, and I could do this to take sharper turns. So I've learned to use this. Nicholas says hi. Well, hi, Nicholas. Okay, so let's see what angle this one's at. It's gonna break it, but I'm still curious. 165. 185 in red. Oh, would you crashed into this? Okay, that's why we're getting like 185. Wait, and it says in red? 185 in red. Yeah. Okay. So we go blue 15. 185. Wonder if that's the difference. Oh, I deleted the... don't know. You just put a duck on there. I blame the duck. Me not. Yep, that brings it right back up. Not by much. It's close. It's still slower. But now it's like 65, 70. And the turning is just, oh god. I do feel like this is heavier. Because let's see, the other one was 2,800. Right? It was like 28 something. Yeah, it's heavier. It's heavier by about 800. I would say 807 heavier. Already. And I'm wondering, how much does that weigh? The difference is literally the wheels. Here's the thing, if I got rid of the double wide wheels, this thing would be lighter than my current vehicle. It's literally because I did the wheels this way. I went for aesthetics. Oh god damn it. Because that's the main issue, is I went for aesthetics. But yeah, it'd be pretty much the exact same weight. Which means it would be... like if I just, actually, I'm gonna delete these again. F1, 4. Okay. And now I need to do... that. Welcome. We'll just delete that. Actually, yeah. And that, delete that, and that. I do have to clear these extra blocks. Not that though, because I'll still be using that. What you doing? Oh, I don't get what you're doing. Yeah, see, making those wheels a little bit skinnier should be the difference. Yeah. 71, 73. And the turning, I'd say it's identical now. So... Pingus says he sleeps. He's going to bed. But yeah, that weight difference. That's all it was just the weight. It's because I did the bigger wheels in the back. It looks really bad without the wider wheels though. In the back. Whee! So yeah, if this thing loses because it's heavier, I'll probably just use my other car, which is this one here. So, yeah, I'll just use this. Because sure, I could lighten the other one by a little bit, but then I'd be... like, I would have to, just to keep the wider wheels, I would have to remove, you know, a lot. Okay, so we have 52 on the screen right now. Right, so let's see how long it takes us to do a quarter mile. I'm not going 70. I'm going about 65. They keep bouncing. "24 seconds." Which is not good. We want it to be 23 or lower. Really? Interesting. Okay, now something I'm curious about that I haven't tuned in a while. Let me check the difference in torque from the angle of the V. So I am going to have to temporarily break it. Actually, you know what? I'll do this way. I'll add a controller. Which means lift. And I go disconnect, disconnect. And we'll go 125, 125. Hey, I wonder if that changes anything. Yeah, it feels like I slowed it down. Not by much, though. So let's try 115. A little faster. Interesting. So let's try 110. Remember, I'm just widening the engine, which should technically increase the torque. Let's see, turning left. Still good. What about turning right? It's about the same. Okay, so that didn't have an adverse effect on that. But top speed wise, so I'd say 60 to 74. So I'd say going this too low at this point. This angle. See, now it's slowly going to the right a little bit. Wasn't it going to the left before? Right, when we had on 120, wasn't it going to the right before or left before? Yeah. It wants to turn to the left naturally. Interesting. And if I put it to like 110, doesn't want to drift. Okay, let's try this. Still looks like it drifts a little bit to the left, but not even close to as much. Okay, so what if I do from a start? Yeah, drifts to the right, or left. But when I put it to 105, I think it was drifting in the opposite direction. Nope, never mind. Lace was just seeing things. I swear it's turning to the right a lot more than the left now. She's still using that? Oh. So yeah, I'm thinking a good angle to go at. Probably like that. Because then... Okay, so I do need a lower. Let's try 108. And yes, I've pretty much given up on the F1 car. It's too heavy. I'll finish it aesthetically. Still wants to drift to the left. If we straighten out, how far does it go before it turns to the left? Okay, now it looks like it's slowly going to the right. But no, it just drifted to the left. Okay, so we'll try that. So we'll follow a line right in between. There we go. No longer drifts to the left. Lucky 107. Let's see. There we go. Drifts to the left. Then comes back to the right. Drifts to the left. Comes back to the right. I think that 107 is perfect. Speed-wise, it's about the same, but it's a little bit more stable. Because now it doesn't drift on its own. Or it can more consistently drifts, because it still drifts. It's like, let's say from a stop. And we go forward. Yeah. We drift to the left. Now what about backwards? Looks like I'm gonna have to change the angle on backwards now. So that's not a good thing to do when going backwards. So just flip. I have no steering. It's just causing a suspension glitch while going backwards. But at least its speed is a lot more consistent now. Okay, so let's reset the timer. the old-fashioned way. Okay, now let's adjust the piston, or the suspension. Oh, because you walked in front of it. The sensor is the pause. And the go is a quarter-mile away. You can even pull out your connection tool and see it. But it always rounds itself off. So I could just do that. Now we can go drive the quarter-mile. I'm gonna actually slam the back end. I'm just curious. Yes, a knot in a V pattern definitely hurts. It's like that's 10 extra blocks a second from just changing the shape of the V, the angle. So I'm just testing consistency here. left turns down to 30. Not too bad on right turns. I think 110 was the most consistent. Actually, let's try 115. I saw a 75 there for a second. That's slightly worrying. What if I just try like 130? Just for shits and giggles. That felt slower already. And it's drifting a lot more to the left. Fuck. I kind of like 105. Left turns. Slows down a lot. But right turns. Even more. So acceleration wise, it's not as good as 110. But consistency in the high end, I'm kind of liking it. Yeah, because it seems to stay at a speed higher. Now let's just try 110. Keeps that consistency. No, not entirely, actually. Interesting. Just do 107. Best of both. Yeah, and see, this is why I don't like changing the V shape, because, yeah, it does that bullshit. If I just put on 120, can still turn when going backwards. So like if I crash into a wall, right, I can still get out of it. Barely, but I can. It does feel slower though. What I could do is change the angle that when it goes backwards. I think I'll stick it at like just a clean 110. No. Oh, 7. And the angle for reverse is 165. So what if I lower that? Does that fix the... Not really. So the forward is 185. Minus 30 would be, 165. No, 155. So that'd be the same speed backwards as it is forward. But it doesn't really work that way. Plus, I don't think we want that fast of a speed, so I'm going to lower it by that much. That's actually lowered even more. Oh, I accidentally opened that up. Oh, I'll just blueprint edit it again. 135. Ooh, that is really nice. Yeah, that is really nice there. Okay, let's try 130. Yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry if I bored you to death. Wanted to build the F1 car, but it's supposed to outperform this, but so far this is outperforming. Sadly. So let's see how fast we can do the quota mile now. Now that I'm happy with these settings. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you. Can you not? Just fucking grabs onto it. Fucking physics in this game are bullshit. Can you fucking not? This doesn't help either. Fuck you. Just went right through that block. And it goes into reverse. Cool.